So we have some massive news in the side of when it comes to DEI, diversity, equity, and integrity, which should now be spelled to DIE, because that is what's happening to DEI, is that it's actually DIE-ing, where it is starting to die. We have two major companies that has started to move away from DEI, especially with this major cultural shift that has started to happen ever since, I would say that at least when it comes to like the Western culture, especially within America, ever since the fact that it got announced that Donald Trump was going to be president once again. And even not just then, I felt like the cultural shift, but going away from all this DEI stuff started to really happen over the last year or so. Like, even though it was like more solidified for the fact when Donald Trump was announced to be the president of the United States once again, I feel like the cultural shift going away from DEI and people like saying that DEI is bad, it really started, it feels like it's been going on for over a year now, maybe even 2 years. I would say that one of the major cultural shifts is after Elon Musk bought Twitter, and you had a lot of people coming back to Twitter where they were able to just say their, rightful mind of what they think. But one of the companies that is starting to move away from DEI is Google, where right here, it is said that Google has now officially removed Pride Month from its calendar app. So if you go onto the calendar app of Google and you go to the month of June, it will no longer say that June is Pride Month. And to be honest, this one, I don't really care too much about. I never had a massive issue. I mean, I kind of like thought that having a whole entire month to yourself was really stupid. I mean, like, I always thought that it was really dumb. Like, what the hell do you need a whole entire month for to celebrate Pride? If you want a week, sure, whatever. A day, that's fine. You want a day of pride to like say, yep, just to say people who are in the LGBT, who are lesbian and gay and stuff, and just be like, yeah, it's great to see that we accept it more nowadays, whatever. But a whole month? You want a whole month for that? I'm sorry, but like, I always thought it was a bit ridiculous. And the fact that now Google's even moving towards that, getting rid of it completely on their calendar app. And not only is it Google that's moving away from DEI, but also Disney is now dropping 2 DEI programs after pressure from investors. And this to me is one that is really good, and I'm happy to see stuff like this, because it's not just the DEI when it comes to like a lot of stuff when it comes to the LGBT community. Now obviously that has been, when it comes to DEI, that's the main focus around it, because I feel like when it's come to pushing diversity, it's really been Pride that they've really taken and used that as the forefront of DEI, and it's actually made Pride look worse than it used to be in the past. I feel like as well that when it's come to this whole entire diversity, equity, integrity programs that all these companies have done, that their goal was to help people who were diverse and to like help people accept Pride more and help people accept others who are in the LGBT community. But as a matter of fact, they've actually kind of done the opposite, where they've made a lot of people hate the LGBT community more than they used to in the past. I don't even see this as my opinion. I see this as complete hardcore facts, for the fact that people, ever since DEI started to be pushed in towards people's faces, that they have now gotten more of a sour taste in their mouths for Pride. And you might be saying, Donnie, where's the examples of the fact that Disney was pushing like this DEI? Well, if you have to just go on Disney Plus, like, I didn't even have to look that hard. Like, I was thought that I have to look into, of them like pushing programs and all that kind of stuff, and what programs exactly what it was. All you have to do is go on to Disney Plus and you will see this. They have a full section dedicated to Pride, committed to LGBTQ stories, with such ones as Growing Fangs, which is like a short that follows some LGBT protagonists through high school. I always find it weird, like when it comes to LGBT movies, if you want to do adult movies, like movies for adults, like say, something when it came to Bohemian Rhapsody, it followed a real life person in Freddie Mercury, and obviously his big identity was him being gay, and that's fine. It's a movie for adults. But the fact that this Growing Fangs, because I looked into it briefly, it's about high school kids. Why is the main protagonist have to be gay for? And then you look at stuff like this as well, where if you look down further, it locates certain episodes in certain shows that are Pride episodes, with some of these being kids shows. And then I saw this where it's media award winners and nominees. One of them actually being this show called Dino Ranch that was played on Disney Junior. It was played on Disney Junior, and I found a clip showing two dinosaur dads. It was showing a gay couple that were dinosaurs, and it just makes you go, what's the point of this? And why have this in a kid's show? I think that this is the reason why there's been so much backlash towards these DEI programs. Because if it just had to stick to adult shows, adult movies, people wouldn't care that much. But the fact that they pushed it into kids' programs is where people started to get a sour taste in their mouths. And why? Now these companies, because so many people have pushed back on it. And let's be honest as well, is that when it comes to a lot of these DEI, like, forceful things that they've put into movies and TV shows, none of them have been good. Every single time that there has been some kind of like DEI character within a movie, and to me, like, I relate more to this when it comes to the video game space, none of them have been great. Majority of them, if not all of them, turn out to just be like they feel so forced. And that's why people have started to hate it and had a sour taste in their mouth. And now these companies are starting to get a hella pushback within it as well, to the point where now these investors are starting to push back and say, hey, you guys need to get rid of these DEI programs because they're not working. And that is the main reason why, for the fact that they're getting rid of these programs. It's not just because of this cultural shift that's been happening. It's because they didn't work in terms of making any money. These DEI programs, all they've done over the last few years is soak up money inside of companies and not help in making them any money in the outcome. They do not help with making an income for the companies, and they make them look worse. And what's really, really funny is that whenever you spoke out against the company in pushing DEI or making some kind of character within a TV show or movie that felt forced, that felt like it was forced by a DEI program, you were always met with so much backlash from so many people who weren't just defending the character, but defending the company as well. They were being so loyal to Disney without being like, these Disney adults to me would have to be some of the worst people ever that I've ever seen on the internet. These Disney adults would be like, leave Disney alone, okay? They're just being progressive. They're being good. They know exactly what they're doing. It just goes to show that these companies like Disney and Google never cared about you. They never cared about you, and they never will. They don't even care about the people who are going against DEI. The only reason they're going against DEI now is because they've noticed over these years, not only are they getting pushback, but they aren't making any money. And if they actually were making money off these DEI programs, then they would keep them. Or if they actually did really care about you, who was pushing back against others who didn't like DEI, then they would keep these programs. But they don't. They don't care about you. They don't care about your diversity. All these companies care about is making money. And with these DEI programs, they never did. And they never would have. Because they're just slop. That's all these programs were. And if anything, these programs harmed the communities that they were trying to vouch for, without a doubt, because I know so many people in my personal life who are part of the LGBT community who I love, and they aren't these type of people who push it in everyone's face, who go out and do this stuff, who try to push it in every single part of media. They just live their normal lives, and that's fine. That's great. Go ahead. That's when you get respected as a normal person. But when you do stuff like this, you make them hate you. And that's all these DEI programs done. So not only have they wasted money of these companies over the years, but they've also regressed the years and years that the people who actually pushed for gay rights, they actually harmed them a lot more than they did any good. But I would definitely like to hear what you guys think about all this down below. Are you happy to see DEI programs going out of companies? I would really like to see more news come out about gaming companies getting rid of DEI programs. That, to me, would make me even happier. But that's going to be it from me. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Peace out.